Hey guys, it's Jeff with JB Jones Properties with Keller Williams. Just going to come to you today, just give you a few pointers for buying a house. I know if you haven't done it before, it can be a little stressful. I wouldn't want to lie about that, but kind of get your ducks in a row before you get started. You know make things go a little lot smoother. It's go a lot smoother after you get into the house to kind of know a few things and prepare. There's always something that pops up that you don't know about, you don't plan for. So just think about that when you're getting your down payments together, your finances. You don't want to get yourself too overextended right off the bat because there was always something to pop up, especially if you got kids and that type of stuff. There's you know how that goes, sicknesses and school projects and all that stuff. Just got to kind of put together a little list here for you that maybe help you out when you're buying your first home, or even if you've done it a few times. Sometimes you can always learn a few tips or two after even after you've been in it for a little bit. One is not saving enough money for a down payment. If you go zero down or very low down, you have to factor in some PMI insurance and that cost. It makes your payments go up. That type of stuff. You have to factor that in, but you also don't want to get too much down that you wouldn't have any cash on hand after you get into the house. Another one's making an offer without really committing to being in the house, getting into the house, buying the house. You see something you like and you just throw an offer out there and see if it sticks. Well, when it sticks, now what? You're kind of in it to buy it now. And you really didn't want it as much as you thought you did once you start getting into it. So that's just another thing to think about is, sit down and go over, what you really want, put your list together, your wants, you don't want, your must-haves, things you may can live without, things you can't live without whatsoever. If you've got several kids, one bedroom, one bath, probably not going to make it for you. So, put those lists together and kind of start sticking with some of that. And, when you find certain houses that fit 90% of it, see where your stuff that you can't live without kind of factors into that. If it's doesn't have a pool, you don't always have to have a pool. That's a luxury sometimes. But you can always, if you find a perfect house that doesn't have a pool, well, they can get into that and be happy for a long time. But next one is see where your school district is. What school district you're moving into. If you don't have kids, and then that's not really a factor, some school districts are going to be more expensive than others because the people with good schools, they want to move into those districts, and that drives the price up. So if you're just looking for a place to retire, or you're not planning on having kids, single, whatever, you can always get into something a little bit cheaper, maybe getting out of the, I guess, more populated town areas. Another one is getting a survey. Be sure you get a survey. Boundary lines, even in subdivisions, as things change. I've seen plans change on subdivisions several times because of they start into something and maybe find rock or something of that nature, and things have to move. Well, depending on what survey you're looking at, you could potentially not have the correct one. It's happened. There's nothing's perfect. So always kind of make sure where your lines are. If something, your neighbors own you, and before you purchase the home, be sure that you address that, because that could be a major issue down the road. Some handshakes and all don't really cut it anymore. You kind of have to have some paperwork or something going on so that you're really planning for the next person, not you per se, but the next person, so that they don't have all these problems. If you don't put anything in writing and down the line 2 generations, nobody knows what took place back today 20 years from now. So that's a good idea to get all that squared away first, and that just makes it so much easier today and down the road. And of course, kind of touched on this too, having a cash reserve after your purchase. there's always something that's going to pop up you don't think about, especially when you're young. Maybe first home, you don't realize you get in this home and everything you get squared away and you sit down and you reach and you don't have salt and pepper. It happens. I know exactly how it was when I moved in my first house. You're used to having everything there at your fingertips, and now you get out on your own and you reach and you don't even have a roll of paper towels or a salt and pepper shaker, and it just didn't cross your mind that this is something you always had and you never thought to go get it. So cash on hand, it will be a lot easier down the road. Have a little bit of cushion there, so when things do go bad, refrigerators can quit at any time. HVACs is, sometimes those things, a minor problem could be a major expense. Especially if you're on septic and well and those type of things, those can pop up at any time with a problem. Tanks go out on wells, pressure switches, that type of thing, and it's if you don't know how to do it, you got to pay somebody to come out. It's gonna cost you some money. Another one is getting inspections. Get an inspection. Even if you don't want, if you're satisfied with everything, that's fine. At least you know what's there. They can tell you, what's going on. There's owners are not always going to know everything. Think about it, especially if you've owned a house. When's the last time you crawled up in the very back corner under your house? It's been a long time since I've seen mine. So, you never know what's going on up under there until you get an inspection done that somebody can tell you. And, a lot of times there's not anything major going on. It's something you can live with or something you can fix down the road, but at least you've got an idea of what's going on, and you can put a list together if you don't want it fixed now, or depending on how negotiations go, it's something you can take care of, a year or 2 years or whatever down the road if it's nothing major. 5-year-old roof, you got 10, 15 more years on that thing, hopefully. So, it's just something to have in the back of your mind. If you're moving into a subdivision, you definitely need to learn what the HOA has for as far as restrictions, what you can and can't do. If you work at a company that has a company truck, a lot of them won't let you park those in their driveway or on the street. So you got to park your work truck somewhere else, and that's a real reality. It's just I don't like it, but some of them have those restrictions. You can't put a boat in the driveway, you can't park a motorhome in the driveway. If you got all those things, you need to consider that. You need to find that out before you make an offer on a home, before you start signing the paperwork and you show up with all your toys, your boats and your motorhomes and four-wheeler trailers and all that stuff, and find out you don't have a place to put it. They won't let you park it in your yard. So and like I said, you come home from work one day and they write you a ticket because you're in a work truck because that's your job. So something to think about there. And I did hit on this one earlier. Needs versus wants. Like I said, sit down. Go over what you got to have, what you would like to have, and then start going down. What could you live without? Because there is no perfect house. You won't even build the perfect house. You'll build one and still, well, we should have did this different. That's always the case. So figure out the stuff that you have to have, something that the family has to have. You got kids and all, you have to have enough bedrooms, bathrooms, and everything to make all that work. That's just the way it is. So figure that part of it out, and then start going down. Okay, if it didn't have this, could we live without it? Would life still go on without this? And if it does, and you find that house, you got your list ready. You know what you can and can't do, and factor in what it's worth to you, and you'll know how you'll be able to make a good offer, and hopefully get the offer and get accepted, and you get it proceed with that part of it. Another one is securing financing. That's a big thing now. Is before you ever start looking for a home, I would suggest you talk to a lender. I have several that I work with that I'd be glad to hook you up with. But doesn't matter who it is, as long as it's a good lender, talk to them. Find out what you can and can't do and get pre-approved. Not pre-qualified, but pre-approved. Make sure they know the difference. They should, but it's not all of them. I have, run into some that they really didn't know the difference. But make sure that you're pre-approved, which means you have been through underwriting and you have pretty much got the loan as long as all the rest falls into place, appraisals, inspections, and that thing. I can't tell you how much you need to get that in place, because when you find that perfect house, by the time you get all that handled to make the offer, the house may be gone. Or you can't afford that house. There's no reason to look for a $350,000 house when all you can get from the bank is $250,000. It is what it is. If you can't buy it, there's no use to look at it. So when you're making a list of the houses you want to look at, you know what your money is, you know which ones to look at, and you know what to offer, where you can go, where you can't go with your offers, and plus you know your payments, pretty much what they will be. You figure in your insurance, taxes, that type of stuff, so you'll know basically where you are before you ever start looking for a home. That way, when that dream home comes up, you walking through it, this is it. You make the offer, you're going down the road. Everything's in place. Basically, all it is, appraisal comes back, that type of thing, and you're good. And last thing I got is hire a realtor. I know a lot of you think you can do it on your own, even if you've done bought one or two through the years. A lot changes, laws change, and sometimes you just need somebody to handle things for you while you're at work. There's a lot going on, and we can take care of that stuff while you don't have to. You can lay down and sleep at night. We may be on the phone dealing with something at midnight while you're in the bed asleep, so you never know. I have done it before. I've been on the phone at 11:30 at night trying to get a deal finalized, and my clients never knew what was going on. They just knew I was working for them and was taking care of it. And plus, buyers normally, never say never say always, but buyers typically do not pay a commission, so we're free on your side. It doesn't cost you anything to have us working for you. So you get our expertise for nothing. The sellers usually pay the commissions, and so we can give our advice and counsel for free to you on the buy side. So that's another plus on it. And like I said, when you start negotiating, inspections, repairs, and that type of stuff, it helps to have somebody that's been through this before, and you kind of know some of the what to really look at and what not to look at. Some things you may think are major is really not that major, and some things you look at and it's not a big deal. Well, that could be very costly down the road. Some things just don't look like much, but they cost a lot. Just depending on what type of work it is. So you want somebody that knows what they're doing there. And other than that, you pretty much just and search around. Of course, getting a realtor, search around. You find one you like. It is a relationship. Not everybody's going to be a match. Just like dating, you find you one that you can work with, talk to, everything like that, and that's the one you want to go with. If you can't stand to be around one another, it's not going to go well. I can tell you that. There's a lot of great realtors out here, but like you said, I'm not compatible with everybody, just like you wouldn't be. So, make your choices, interview them. Sometimes the inexperienced may be better than experienced guys in certain aspects. So, don't discount somebody that's newer in the business as opposed to somebody that's been in a long time, because sometimes the old guys don't get stubborn and don't want to come up to the day's ways. It is what it is. I've been in several types of businesses and I've seen that too. So it's all, it's the interview is what it is. It's interview them and find out who you like and who you can work with. Other than that, good luck on your searches. I would love to help you. Give me a call, 704-582-0781. I'll put some links and all through the video here where you can find me. And once again, it's Jeff at JB Jones Properties with Keller Williams. Have a good day. Talk to you later.